Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a bit more of Might and Magic 8, Day of the Destroyer. Today is most likely going to be the final episode, and I have no clue which one of my saves is the current one. Did I not save before I went into Eschaton's Crystal? I may have forgotten to do that, but I'm pretty sure this is not a save because just before I ended up teleporting. I may have forgotten to save, guys. Shouldn't be too bad overall though, so I guess that's alright. Wait, I forgot something. I'm pretty sure I forgot to save. Whoopsie. And Blood, hey! Thank you, holy cow. Blood, welcome back for 16 ROMs in a row. Thank you so much. And well, I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Alrighty. This is the last thing we got. We did get the Conflux key, and I did want to go ahead and train up the cactus before we enter Eschaton's Crystal, whatever that means, and eventually move into the plane between planes. So yeah, there's that. Blood, welcome back for 16 rounds in a row. Thank you so much for a long time of support. Welcome back, and I'm glad you, well, enjoyed your stay. Are we near the Unicorn King? We already got what was in the Unicorn King's vault, actually. I must have forgotten to save, I guess.
The store is closed.
Oh well.
We can come back later.
We can come back later indeed. Wait until dawn.
We can train you. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
So,
Do come in.
did I forget to do things here before going, or did I do something in between? I'm not sure. That's kind of secondary. So, we have, well, not particularly good backup armor right now for our Minotaur, since we can't repair this one on the fly. I might as well keep this one for now. Either way, what I could do is actually try and create some armor. I believe there was an item creator for the ore. You may have also have noticed that we did end up getting a lot of the salt-laced ore last time. This, as mentioned before, is the highest level ore that can create items. I don't remember where the armor guy is, but I think it was in Alvar. Wasp stingers towards Grandy. It doesn't unfortunately show up, but I think over here somewhere I made either weapon or armor. Lots of level ups indeed. We also will want to distribute those skill points. So most of the things here don't really have too much of an impact anymore. I'm strongly considering leveling up body magic here for our Minotaur, just so he has a stronger heal effect, since heal on expert level cures 5 hit points plus 3 per point of skill and can be cast on distant targets. Oh, plus 3 basically per skill point, so if we put like 10 points into this, we will have 30 more health regenerated by this. I don't think we necessarily need much more in Axe Mastery, like we have plenty of damage, I dare to say. So I'm inclined to just put everything in here. He does not really need to learn anything else. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. Plus 12 into body magic. What can you go for? I'm not sure. We'll check. Here, make a weapon. I could make weapon out of those salt-laced ores. I would like to make armor instead. But then again, I don't remember where the armor creator was. If someone remembers, feel free to tell me. In the meantime, we'll try to figure out what we want to level up our cactus for. So Elspeth here wanted to go for dagger. A bit more, let's go for 20. I think 20 is a good number. And then I'm inclined to, well, kind of like a Minotaur, just put more points into body magic so she will be able to heal more. Since she is master, she gets +4 for every point skill, so 10 is 40 and so on. So yeah, we don't know the specific location, but it should be around here. Right. I'm not going to look around for it for too much. I was just thinking if we get by chance a really good plate armor for our Minotaur, we would have a nice backup that we could use. Because Minotaur's armor is one of those pieces of equipment that we can't repair on the fly, and we would have to backtrack all the way every time. So trap doesn't really benefit you. Perception doesn't really benefit you. Regeneration, you already are master. Let me deal with those. Yeah, I think I'm just putting everything to body magic. And ability here, we could... I guess I don't really have anything else to put it in. For a dragon. He would need 3 more horseshoes in order to go further here. She is really good with the bow, and I would like to keep it that way, and kind of like before, just put it further into bow. Maybe I also want to go ahead for Dark Elf ability, since I didn't figure out last time this was significantly better than I expected it to be, and I think it's just going to pump in more into Dark Elf spells as well, since I do plan on using it. Whether I'm going to remember or not, I'm not sure, we will see. And here for you, I'm not sure. Skill added to armor class, double effect, and skill added to elemental. So I could just pump in more and more here for him to have an enormous amount of elemental resistances instead. Not sure how useful that is, but I could also go for regeneration. Actually, I don't know whether this even does anything, putting more points into regeneration, for example. In house 2, but I have no idea what that means specifically. I see. Thank you, Robley. One of the houses in the far west side of town, you say? West? You mean this one down here? This is technically the second from the bottom. So it would be this one. This one was a weapon. I'm looking for armor though. Metal Bear, thank you, but also appreciate that. So either way, what? Yeah, I guess just mace really. Chance to paralyze equal to skill, so actually this is really good because paralyzing enemies is incredibly valuable too. Do we have more horseshoes? We have 2. I think our Minotaur is the only one who can reach another point in the skill with just, well, 1 I guess in this case, so I'm going to go for that. Rocks are friends, not food, come on. Be nice to them, please. Just checking whether it might be over here instead. Also, I was wondering. Here we have a shocking cauldron. +2 air resistance permanent. Aha. Just kind of fly by. Make item, not what I'm looking for. Make armor, there we go, this is the one we are looking for. Alright, in this case, let us make some armor. We have a leather armor, pretty good. We have a chainmail, that's okay. Another leather one, a better chainmail. Ooh, there's a plate one. There's another plate one. There's a different plate one. And that is all our ore that we have invested just now into making armors. Those are +10 endurance armor, +10 to endurance, armor and hit points. That is quite something. This is 14 accuracy.
Leave it.
Plus 35 resistance, regenerate hit points over time. That's quite something as well.
Worthless.
Hit points plus 16, not all that
Leave
great.
it.
Air resistance, might plus 15, I guess that's kind of okay. Resistant to stone. Alrighty, we sell those here. I think I'm just going to keep all 3 of them actually. Well, even though I really like this weapon, I'm probably not going to use it, so... Going to keep all 3 of them, have a backup armors in case the other ones break. And accuracy sounds pretty good to me. We can sell the other ones here. Alrighty, so in this case, what are you doing here? Don't harass my townspeople, that's rude. Also, don't give me useless weapons. That's just silly. Alrighty. I think we are ready to enter Eschaton's crystal at this point. I'm not sure I'm really ready, but I feel like this is going to be as ready as I get. Where's the entrance? There it is. Alrighty. I probably forgot to save. That's just silly. Okie dokie. Do I worry about having too much equipment? Maybe I do. I can just briefly sell it here. Yeah. Random backup weapons and armor. Sounds pretty solid to me overall. And hey, Ruff and Sting Renee, welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, can you save and enjoy this log? You save, you say? Sure, we can go with that. 9. We are on 9 after all, that makes sense. Okie dokie, so... Bless. Heroism. Water resistance. Actually, I just remembered something. When I saw that animation of water resistance. I still want that one silly spell that is called regeneration.
Sure, we got spells.
I don't know what it is. Charm, pure paralysis, berserk, charm, spirit, remove curse, heroism, preservation. Regeneration, finally. Oh, and another one. One for our
That'll be useful.
lady and one for our minotaur.
Ah, useful.
So, regeneration is that spell that I wanted to have for a while, it just was never available really. What that does for us is it essentially regenerates hit points over time. I don't know whether it stacks with natural regeneration, but I think it does. Either way, I think that could end up being really good. Also, I have no idea what is going to await us in here exactly. I kind of know a little bit about it because I've seen a speedrun, but how exactly the enemies work, beyond me. From the conflux key come a keening pitch which resonates through the crystal. A hidden depth is revealed, a passage that draws you with inexplicable attraction.
What lies ahead?
What lies ahead are Crystal Guardians and Crystal
There's some
Sentries.
power.
880, they have 20 d4, so that is 20 to 80 damage with each attack. This is 25 d4, that's 25 to 100 damage with each attack. So they are pretty strong, I dare to say.
This could be tough.
Do they have any weaknesses? Only physical, they don't have any resistances. They have 1,300 hit points, so... The attack with air element, that's good to know. Because I don't think we have protection from air yet. Which I do want to establish.
I don't know it.
And you... what do you want to do? Preservation sounds like a good plan, in case someone gets hit for too much damage. Oh wow, they actually use ranged attacks? Sometimes they hit us even.
I have no
Nothing
idea.
too spectacular. Maybe I do want to go into melee combat with them after all. I'm not sure about that.
I don't know it.
So we are dealing... Oh, there you go. There they come.
I have no idea.
81 damage. 97. It's pretty good. 78. Miss. 73 damage. 81. 80
I
damage.
don't know
And one down.
There's some power.
So, Crystal Guardian. Let's try to hit those guys first. Okay, I think we are fine for the most part. So Identify
could be
Monster
tough.
in the end did come through thanks to me knowing that I need to use air resistance against those guys. They don't reveal any particular weakness aside from physical attacks, I guess.
don't know.
Crystal Walker seem to be the small ones here.
There's some
On the 66 damage.
I don't know it.
72.
wounded.
I don't know.
Wounded indeed. I not prefer if you would stop being wounded. Also, I think she might benefit more from attacking rather than trying to heal
I
herself.
don't know it.
Okay, one down.
I have
And those
no
are Emerald
idea.
Dragons. What do those do? Let's
I
keep
don't
trying to
know.
hit those Crystal Walkers
I
and
don't
such.
know it.
Emerald Dragon, attack with Earth Element. Okay, they're not all at resistance 12 to 8. So, a bit weaker than the other ones,
We
but
can take it.
still something. And I do want to establish Earth resistance, I think. Actually, Stone Skin sounds like a good choice too.
I don't know it.
Come on, kill it! No, the other one!
No.
Oh boy. Okay, Crystal Walker dead.
I don't know.
So, alright, let's see whether... Regen spell is at, to say the least, is it?
I
Let's
don't
see.
know it.
Wait, I wanted to cast Stone Skin too.
Ow!
They really don't like my vampire. Stop hitting my
I
vampire.
don't know it.
I did
don't
not mean to
know
hit
it.
that guy. Paralyzes Emerald
I don't
Dragon.
know it. I don't
Oh,
know
no,
it.
the Crystal
I
Sentries.
don't know it.
Did you attack the Emerald Dragon by mistake? Why are you guys attacking
I
this
have
guy?
No idea.
He's paralyzed. Stop attacking him. Okay, let's go for Stone Skin here. Oh, I think all of them are
I don't know.
Crystal Sentry.
I don't know it. I don't know it.
It's I can't attack the guys behind. Alright. This guy apparently is too far away. Try to heal. Paralyzes Sapphire Dragon. Alright, we are fine at this point. Heal yourself. And we definitely heal a lot more than before, which is really nice.
I have
Sapphire
no
Dragon.
idea.
How
There's
strong
some
are you? 14d8. Pretty strong overall. Okay. We get random
Leave
stuff.
it.
Leather armor of the Golem, 15 endurance, 5 armor. Some other thingies too. Kind of neat actually. Alright, let me cast Regenerate on you. Maybe that will do a little bit of something. Need to just keep healing. I feel like I'm really glad I pumped more points into body magic. The heal is not nearly as low as it was before. Alrighty, we managed to have a foothold inside the Eschaton's crystal. Let's see. Yes, those adverts that don't get muted when you try to mute them
This
are
could be tough.
really annoying. Do you agree with you?
There's some.
Alrighty, let's try to hit this guy for as much as we can. And that means we try to start using Dark Fireball.
Ow!
This was not the guy I was aiming for, but... well... how much we can do about that now? 12 damage, that's surprisingly little. Let's try to back off a little bit. And I feel like we can just take them on straight up at this point. Without turn-based combat. Sounds good to me. Maybe I wanted to use haste too, actually, now I think about it. But we can get away right now without using haste, so... I feel like it's fine. Ruby dragons, how good are they? What do they do exactly, lady?
There's some power.
Attacks with earth as well, so those are seemingly the strongest one of the dragon type crystals. Looked like there was a second one. Also, stunning this guy. Incredibly useful. I actually really like having a troll in my party right now. Oh.
Fixed.
Yep, my troll is super useful. I didn't even realize something was broken until just now. That might explain as to why she died so fast, or well, why she took so much damage anyways.
Ow!
Ruby Dragon dead. We get a random dagger here.
Leave it.
Banged blade, nothing too terribly intriguing. So, cast regeneration on Minotaur. Okay, Sapphire Dragon is down. Oh boy, that's a lot more of those guys. They'll like using ranged attacks as well. Okay, we do want to heal up a little bit here. Okay, here we go. I should have probably done this before already, but haste should allow us to take them down a lot more quickly than before. Okay, okay. Still reasonably well alive, so that's nice. Here. That's a lot of gold overall. A wand, a ring. Hey.
Got it.
More of those guys now. Got a cutlass,
Worthless.
a wand,
Leave
and
it.
a ring. Armor class plus 16. Let's give this over to you. Mind resistance plus 2 doesn't sound like a whole lot to me. Might as well give this to you since you don't have all the ring slots occupied yet. Hey, TB Cortes, welcome to you. How are you doing? So, where are we going? Also, I think I need to re-establish heroism. What is this room? Empty? Oh. Door, you say? Chest. Sweet, I have no idea what that's supposed to be.
Leave it.
Shrinking ray. Huh, dark magic. That's cute, I guess. I wonder how good that would be inside here. And Chintatsu is now hosting you. Thank you for the host, I appreciate that. 5 dragon party, the maximum you can have is 4 unless you unlock dragons too early or early for some reason. Also, let's check. Okay, there's no secondary items inside here. Let's cast haste again, just so we still have it. It doesn't run out. Once again, I'm pretty sure get an amulet and a helmet. 25 personality, that's a lot. Increase effect of all fire spells. I wonder if the dark fire counts as fire as well. That's a lot of damage we're taking here. Probably want to be a bit more careful here. Phew. Probably want to be a lot more careful here. I figured we probably should survive it, but I'm really not sure about that now. Like, I was just kind of thinking, they should be dead now. They should be dead around now. They should be dead maybe around now? Maybe now? Maybe now? Oh boy, they were not dead yet. So let's try regeneration. Thank you, Jintatsu. Appreciate that. Hey, I could rest here. I'm far enough away from enemies that we are no longer in the danger zone, so to speak. Just trying to heal up our dragon here. And a Minotaur as well. How long does regeneration even last? 14 hours. Oh, that actually lasts a really long time. Definitely want to do that sooner rather than later. Cast haste again so it doesn't run out, and I have to cure weakness on everybody. Preservation. Oh, you only have single target preservation? I see. Didn't realize that. Let's have multi-target here. Maybe heal a troll a little. I think he's fine, probably. Also, establish shield for ranged attack, defense. Wizard Eye for better defense overall. Let's go. Okay. Got an amulet. Want to take a look at the amulet afterwards. Okay. Give this amulet over here.
Worthless.
Accuracy plus 18. Might be quite useful actually. You have might plus 6, hit points 25, body resistance 25, return spell points over time, mind resistance plus 15, hit points plus 13. I don't know where you got that from, but that's better than that, I think. Maybe. Actually, mind resistance plus 2 might be better in the end. Oh well. In this case, I can give this over to my Minotaur. Plate armor, leather armor.
Worthless.
Armor class plus 21. This thing has a lot of armor. Fire resistance plus 22. Oh well. Started piling everything into Rouhani's inventory. So we have more space here. Oh, that's a thing I haven't looked at yet, apparently.
Leave it.
Block plus 10. Yeah, that's fine. So give those over to our Minotaur in case I ever need to get just a bunch more skill points for now. Alrighty, let's see. Keep haste up. I never know how long haste lasts. Those are weird. You know what? Those walls look a lot like watermelon. I was just thinking, those triangles, they look a lot like watermelon. I wonder if the designer team needed some random texture and they decided to photograph a watermelon, and that's kind of what they ran with. Now I want watermelon. Alrighty, I'm trying to lure over here. Just one of those. There we go. I'll work with that. One crystal sentry down. 1,400 gold. They just give so much gold. Very nice. Okay, 200x and amulet. Your armor is broken again?
Fixed.
Oh boy.
I can't identify it.
Amulet as well.
Worthless.
Speed. Plus 10 spell points, speed and intellect. Huh. Intellect would be for you, since you do get spell points through that as well. Yeah, I think that's better than regenerate a little bit, because regenerating a little bit, while I generally like that concept, doesn't seem to be all that worthwhile overall in this game. Because if I need health, I just wait anyways, or just go to rest. I think delicious melon is actually the thing for the fruit box, rather than watermelon. Crossbow. More honey. Taste this again, please. Those things are so much larger when you get closer. Okay, another one of those. Alrighty. Looks like there might be no more enemies for now. Actually, I have no idea how large this dungeon is. This looks about the size that it was intended to be looked at. Well, this is the size of our map pretty much. Chainmail. They drop so many things, that's kind of crazy. What's over here? More dragons we can destroy! And down you go. That guy is stunned, so we don't need to worry about him anymore. So we worry about you first. And then we start worrying about you. Alright. This might be all enemies. A staff, small shield, helmet, chainmail, ring. Holy cow.
Leave it.
Yeah, we leave this here. Staff.
Worthless.
I did not mean to pick out
Worthless.
chainmail of health. Oops.
Leave it.
Minotaur Herdsman Axe.
Worthless.
Crossbow of acid. Might be pretty good, but
Worthless.
oh well. Endurance, armor, hit points,
Worthless.
water resistance plus 15. I think that's pretty decent actually. I'm going to keep that.
Worthless.
Increases the effect of all air spells. Might as well. Might as well keep that actually. Where is it? There it is. Hit points, intellect, endurance, armor class, dark spells. I guess we did have a ring with higher spells as well, so in theory that should cover it for dark fireballs, right? Who knows? 8 points plus 19. I think I give this over to you. Put this here. Personality plus 7. Don't really need it. We probably sell that. Then we equip this one. More hit points for you. So we definitely want to start healing up a bit more now. Regeneration is nice, but I guess I could just rest instead. That might be easier. What do we do here? There's over there looked like an empty room, and here we have a thing. Do I need to? I do. You can do this through trial and error. Ah. Just need to copy it. Something happened. Oh! Alright. We want to leave Eschaton's crystal. I don't know, do I? Probably. So this was just a very short intersection. I figured this area would be a lot larger actually. I had no idea. Simon Says puzzle indeed. And yeah, in this game you only create one character. We only ever created the Minotaur. Might as well rest at this point. Okay. In this case. Start buffing ourselves. So we hopefully don't die along the way. That would be nice. Fire resistance, air resistance, shield, wizard eye, invisibility. I guess we could do that too. Need to do that at the end though. Water resistance, stone skin. Speaking of that effect, earth resistance. I have no idea what's coming up by the way, which is why I'm doing all those kinds of resistance thingies. What else could I do? Well, regeneration now on everybody. There we go, I guess. Let me cast regeneration with you as well. Okay, I'm curious. Just invisibility left. Where is it? Do you wish to leave Eschaton's crystal? Yes. Enemies around here.
I don't know.
Fear.
There's some power.
Nightmare.
We can take it.
Okay, I don't remember those things at all. So I'm pretty sure I've never been here before. Okay, what are you? Ether Lord. Spell? None. Spells? None. Attacks physically. Ether Knights. Let's just try to take those on, I guess. I would be surprised if they don't apply some status effects. There we go, there's one. He's stunned.
I don't know.
Those guys don't seem to be too strong overall. I think that is insanity. Remove fear. I did have a remove insanity or cure insanity somewhere. I think. Atmosphere, telepathy, cure insanity. So it was insanity. Oh no, he's weak on top of it. I feel like we want to get rid of those nightmares first. And are you feared now? Yes, this looks like fear. You look a little bit insane. I didn't cast preservation, that was potentially a mistake.
It is.
So I think those probably just apply the status effects that they are named after.
Leave it. Leave it.
Leave it indeed. Once again, I'm pretty sure we don't really need money anymore. Our Minotaur is a little bit insane right now. No? What are you? Afraid? I guess we can fix that too. But now, then you're weak on top of it. Oh boy. I'm glad I have two clerics in my party. That are not really clerics. Can I? I can just fly. Plane between planes. I guess we arrived already. Huh. Okay. Valor Licken, thank you for the 200 bits. Really appreciate those little rabbits. Thank you so much for your kind words, Valor Licken. Appreciate that. And well, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Ether Knight. I guess this is the entrance. So, do we just explore the area, I guess? That sounds like a plan. What do we have here? Ether Lord, Ether Champion. We did take out and Ether Knight. We did take out a few of those. They seem to have ranged attacks, so keep flying. What do we have here? More Ether Champions and such. Those didn't seem to be too terribly dangerous, but then at the same time, compared to what we have faced before, probably a lot more dangerous. This is the corner of the map. This is prison of... Oh. I did not mean to land. Let me actually just take care of those guys, I guess. Ronnie, we need haste. Okay, we can't just take them on head on, essentially, without too much trouble. Nice. Just heal the Rahani a little bit and we're fine. Light armor. Surprisingly not as difficult as I expected it to be. Okay. Prison of the Fire Lord. Oh, this looks more like water.
We can't open it.
Can't open it. Fair enough. I do have a basic idea as to how this is going to play out, by the way, at this point. I can't go through here because the area is closed off for me. So I do have a basic idea on how this entire area will play out, and I do believe there is one of those prisons in each of the corners of the map. The plane between planes seems rather dangerous. There's the fire, that means this is probably the prison of the Fire Lord? Wait, wouldn't it be water? I don't know. Actually it should be Water Lord right now, right? Yeah, this is the prison of the Water Lord. So they're basically the opposing elements. There doesn't seem to be anything else aside from those regular enemies so far. It won't hurt us. Yes, I do agree. What would probably make a good prison for a Fire Lord? Yeah, I mean it makes sense in the end. More Ether Knights, and here we have probably Earth Lord. Yes, indeed. By the way, the map is way off for this thing. You see how where the thing is on the minimap? This is way off. Like right now I'm technically hovering over it, but it's over there. At least according to the map anyways. Would be nice to have it daytime right now. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I didn't want to sneeze into your earphones. What's that? That looks interesting. It looks like a gigantic field?
I don't know it.
Fear and terror. I wonder whether they have any ranged attacks or to note. Well, Rohane, if she has anything to say about that, she's just going to destroy those poor beasts. Actually, she doesn't even hit them.
I don't know.
She didn't hit them at all. Here, haste again, just because if it runs out, we're going to be weak. I'm pretty sure that's a bug, that she just continuously shoots, but she doesn't hit them. In other instances, she just ended up hitting them regardless, but not here. I'm not sure what it's for Rohani that makes them not hittable. Does that deal dark damage? Swift accuracy minus 50. Maybe it's just because she doesn't have enough accuracy, actually, now that I think about it. She may need more accuracy to hit. They are swift inherently. Let me actually change the weapon.
It's of no use to me. Wish I could.
Oh, right.
I don't have the space.
That's the main reason why I gave this to you. Yeah, I just need to briefly stop shooting. Or bows in general don't seem to do anything against those things. Even though they don't seem to have any.
There's some power.
Oh! Oh, never mind. They are physically immune. I didn't read that properly last time. Did say that, I'm sure. That also explains as to why they lived so long. Wait, if they are physically immune and my dragon still does damage, what is the dragon's attack level type? Is it just dragon type? Because it's not fire, we know that, otherwise the fire dudes would not have taken any damage. That's so strange. Ordeal Snap Firing does 16 damage, 9 damage from you. And the Nightmare is dead. That's weird. Got a ring, gold, another ring. So that's just gigantic shield here. Like, my guess is that there was a fight of some note that there used to be a Titan here. Like, Titans are... oh. Alright, we're out of here for now. Wait, can I just... no, they can get below here. I was just wondering whether they would be too large to fit under here. Ordeal Shaft Snapping actually shoots for damage, which is interesting. So either way, there are Titans in the Might and Magic universe, which, well, those are ridiculously large creatures. Are you afraid or are you insane? That's not what I meant to cast. No, I think he's insane. Which actually, that's good for him. So here's the thing, what Insanity does is it puts your intellect and personality to 1, and you do not recover any magic anymore, but it increases your might by, well, in this case 80. Endurance is higher up, speed is higher up. And I don't know why his... I guess this is because... no, actually... I'm just keeping him insane, actually. There's no reason to remove his insanity, that's only beneficial to me. Considering it doesn't seem to have any backfire effects or rings. Dragon uses his breath, I mean...
Leave it.
yeah, I guess. You are absolutely right in this, I would say. Okay, recast this. On the same token, I probably should always recast... not that, heroism. Although, I guess mind resistance would be beneficial to... wait, that's protection from magic. Protection from magic, that's not even protection from... body. Protection from magic affects the entire party at once, granting immunity to certain spells and monster abilities that cause debilitation conditions. Debilitation? Debilitating? These are poison, disease, stone, paralyzed, and weak. Every time the spell saves a character from an effect, it weakens. The spell can survive 1 attack per point of skill in body magic after the protection from magic. That's actually really good. I didn't realize that. Here, but I want to cast an extra heroism. That's actually really good. Protection from magic. This is not just protection from body. This is protection from literal magic. Also, we cannot fly any higher up, so this is as high as we can fly. We could probably or potentially climb this if we tried. Come on, let me jump. Then fly down a little bit, and there's another one. This is probably the prison. Yeah, that's another prison.
I have no idea.
Those are just ether knights, nothing too terribly interesting. So the wind guy is, of course, in an earth prison, which is why it's in the mountains. It doesn't make sense. So more of those guys, and this is back where we were. Alrighty. In this case, let us just go straight south and see whether we find anything else. More of those weird things. A ginormous sword. A giant sword. Can we do anything with this thing? Doesn't look like it. So here's the thing. I'm aware of there being some... Oh, there's another thing over there. There being somewhere a entrance to the developer area, as in they like to put those into the game. I don't know how that works though. And I'm not sure we should enter that right now or afterwards. Hey, that's a gigantic helmet. What is that? Enter Eschaton's palace. Oh, there's behemoths.
It won't hurt us.
Plain Guardian. It won't hurt us, you say? 58 plus 10 damage, so that is 5 to 40, 15 to 50 damage. I guess it's not as strong as others.
We can take it.
Plain Protect, they're 68 plus 15.
There's
Physical, they don't have any resistance. There's some power, you say? What was the other one then? Protector, Guardian, and Overlord. 10d8 plus 20. Interact with the sword. The Temple of NVC is there. I did try to interact with it. Do you need to have something special? Fine, let's try to take these out. Oh, wait, where's my blessing and such? Oh, he just stuns it. Rip. Let's recast haste while we're at it. He just straight up stunned that poor guy. Wait, did that dispel us? Did those minions dispel us?
I don't know it. Got it.
That's a lot of gold. I'm trying to clear out this area here. Actually, they don't seem to have any ranged attacks. So we can use our all tactic with our friend Ithilgor. Either way, we're missing our buffs here for some reason. This guy is trying to be clever. Jumping onto us, or getting the jump on us, literally. Alrighty. One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. And let's try to gather more of those. And the Daedron, or just Daedron, subscribe to Twitch Prime. Hey, thank you Daedron, welcome to you. I hope you're doing well, and well, thank you for the support, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much Daedron. How are you doing? Okay, let's go. Alright, at this point, I would say let's just try to take them on head on. I feel like this should be sufficiently weakened, or they should be sufficiently weakened.
got it.
Okay. Ronnie does a lot of damage with that spell, but Ithilgor just kind of overshadows everything. I think the next time I'm going to play through this, whenever that might be, I'll probably not bring a dragon with me. At this point, he has been a party member of ours for long enough that I really don't want to exchange him anymore. I feel like he deserves to be around here, considering how much work he has done for us. But yeah, they are really strong. I knew that. I knew that from beforehand, but I feel like I wasn't sure as to how difficult this would be without a dragon. I think it should be actually reasonably well balanced around not having a dragon at all. Especially Rohani doing these kinds of shenanigans. Okay, a trident, amulet. Hammer, reagent. Well, I mainly wanted to clear out this area here before we enter this.
Leave it.
Trident. Oh. Rip tridents.
Leave it.
Trollish maw. What else do we have? A wasp wing. Random other ingredients, I guess. That's alright.
Leave it.
Alchemist skill. Don't really need that. Okie dokie. Hey Rosie. Haste again. Save, and let's see what's in here. There's probably more, but oh well. Apparently I need to just interact with the sword though in order to activate it. Maybe I should try to clear out the area and then interact it and see what happens. Plus, there's this one guy over here that didn't get the memo. Where are you? Oh, he just decided. Oh, he's down.
Got it.
That troll is amazing, I would like to point out. Another helmet.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, we probably sell those things eventually. If we ever... I assume we can get back from here. I don't even technically know. Okay, Rohan, you need to stop shooting because unfortunately that doesn't really help us much.
It is down.
It is down. Ronnie just destroys those poor guys. When she gets haste and just keeps shooting with Master Bow. Yeah, no, I can't interact with it. Oh, what? I need to interact with it with my Minotaur. That's unexpected. Do you wish to leave the plane between worlds? Sure.
What lies ahead?
I don't know it.
Anna Wool. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is the developer area actually. Leaf New World Computing. New World Computing is the company that created this. They have done this in, I think, most of their games that they have created. Welcome to the NWC area, indeed. I have no idea what's in here. So, greetings to you, Anna Wool. This seems to be the public
I
representative.
don't know it.
Tots Males.
I don't know it.
Devin Chapman.
I don't know it.
Mary Ellen Babson. Maybe we
can
want
take
to
it.
identify them properly. Eric Williamson. Joseph Burren.
It won't hurt us.
Ernie Gallardo. Can I talk with you? I don't seem to be able to talk with them. That's unfortunate. I would have loved to have a little bit of dialogue.
We
Then we
can
have
take it.
Carl Drown. Yeah, we could, but I don't necessarily want to kill them. And a button. And Agony, thank you so much for 10 rounds in a row support. Welcome back to you.
We can take it.
And well, I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well, Agony. Seems to be nothing in here. This might be just a 1-to-1 copy of their office, and this might have just been a broom closet. What do we have here? Nothing? Those are not even chests. Fair enough. They have a interesting layout for their domain.
It won't hurt us.
Phelan Sykes.
It won't hurt us.
Chris Bates.
We can take it.
Andrew Grum. Does anything happen if you kill them, by the way?
We can take it.
I don't... John Mackin, or Mac. I don't necessarily plan on killing them, unless you tell me something interesting or special happens, by the way. here we have Alex Sherman. There's one enemy here if you find him. Interesting.
It won't hurt us.
Keith Frankert. So he's the first guy that doesn't have the standard pirate skin, it looks like. Those seem to just lead back into the previous areas we have been in. Those are probably computer desks they are sitting and working on, from what I can tell. Makes the most sense. As I said, I'm reasonably certain this is a literal representation of their office.
This could be tough.
Sean Van Cunningham. The name rings a bell. Considering that she just said this could be tough, I think this might be the leader of the entire area. If I'm not mistaken. Such richly decorated prison cells. I mean, your home. Yeah, I mean, it's not much detail in there.
We can take it.
Pete Ryu. Hey, we found Ryu. I didn't know your name was Pete. Jeff Blattner. Almost sounds like the second name of the guy in here. And then there is a little area here. I'm just opening up all doors. Like, they could just get mad at me for not closing the doors behind me, I guess. That would be an option too. This is the entrance here, in case you are a little bit confused as to where we are. I tend to get confused when watching players play when I'm not in charge of looking around myself.
It won't hurt us.
Chuck Russum. I probably actually want to look into the rooms just to see if there's any hidden switches and such. Tim Lang
We
and
can take it.
Ken Spencer.
It won't hurt
And
us.
also Tony Evans. This might be the recording studio for sound effects and such, based on it having a separated section there. JVC, head dev / creator, general insane person. Why is the troll so goofy faced? He is insane. He has a condition, insane, which actually I decided to not cure because it does only benefit. He deals more damage, he has more resistances it seems. Charles Silm. Tracy Iwata. Either way, insanity seems to be only beneficial for a troll. He doesn't even hit us in a party, which I'm surprised about. Chris Miller.
It won't hurt us.
Nico Vargan.
It won't hurt
Tom
us.
Zelef. Have you been here before, or... I don't know. Kind of looked like there might have been something in the wall, but it's probably just because of how the map looks. Carl Pinder.
It won't hurt us.
Christian Vanover.
It won't hurt us.
Benjamin Bent.
We can take it.
Jeff Leggett. Or Leggett.
We can take it.
Scott White.
We can take it.
Mark Caldwell. By the way, if I don't find the one enemy, feel free to tell me where it is. John Krause.
It won't hurt us.
Keith Talane.
We can take it.
Mark Miller. And the last cell, quote unquote, is empty. That's really neat. Either way, once again, if I don't find the one guy, feel free to tell me where it is, I think. That is fine. It's actually very neat. Oh. Wait. Oh. I was wondering, the map looked like it was going on way further here, but there was just a wall. I may have found it.
We can take it.
Adam McCarthy. This might just be a separate section of the building that doesn't necessarily belong
won't
to
hurt
New World
us.
Computing. I don't know that. George Almond. Or maybe they have a different reason for separating it. Bonnie Long Hemsworth. David Mullich. That name somewhat rings a bell. I'm not sure why.
We can take it.
Jennifer Bullard.
We can take it.
Marcus Pregant.
We can take it.
Jack Russell. Ryan Den.
We can take it.
Pregant, yeah, it's his name. Joe McGuffin.
We can take it.
David Ritchie. Unopened office at the south side. Oh. We'll get it on the way back.
It won't hurt us.
Gus Smedstad. Sounds like a Netherlandish origin. Walter Johnson. Michael Wolf and Dave Boughton. Edward Hudson.
It won't hurt us.
Rebecca Crystal.
We can take it.
Fernando Castillo. Or Castillo.
It won't hurt us.
Brian Kemper.
It won't hurt us.
Steve Wassoff. Nova Morisaku. Sounds like Japanese origin.
It won't hurt us.
Julia Ulano. This goes on for way further than expected. Ken Thompson.
We can take it.
Jeff Bigman. Smedstad is Danish. I see. Lou Henderson. That makes sense. To be fair, I kind of like people will throw me in the same bin as Swedish because of my accent. I tend to just throw everything into the general bin of that is probably somewhere north of where I'm living. I don't really know Danish or Dutch at all. Bill Stoneham.
It won't hurt us.
James Dickinson.
We can take it.
Tom Ono.
It won't hurt us.
Kurt McKeever. And the other one is John Gibson.
It won't hurt us.
Steve Jasper.
It won't hurt us.
Kate Vanover.
It won't hurt us.
April Lee.
We can take it.
Brian Farina.
It won't hurt us.
George Ruoff.
It won't hurt us.
Dean Gibson.
We can take it.
Bob Young. Oh, I thought this was a broom closet.
It won't hurt us.
John Slowski. Could be Czech, but could also be Russian, for all I know. Or Paul Ratner. I feel like those guys with the beard and staves are probably higher ups. David Vela. Brian Dimet. Broom closet.
It won't hurt us.
And I think that's everything. Do you need to have a hook for a hand to work here, or is that the initiation? That is the ritual of getting acknowledged by your companions. Apparently. Either way, it appears that I have not found that one enemy that is apparently in here. Once again, I think feel free to tell me where it is. The thing is, I have Grandmaster Perception, but apparently that didn't help with that wall earlier just now, so I feel like this will be a similar case here where it just doesn't help.
We can take it.
Ian Bullard. Sorry for missing your cell. I wasn't wrong with guessing Dutch since those two languages are very close. Interesting. I actually don't know that. I know like German and Swiss German are really, really close, and Dutch is actually not that far away. At least not the written portion. But it's still very different. Look for the yellow threat icon. Alright, that's a good idea. For anyone who does not know what that means, there are those green icons, or those green little dots next to my characters currently. And those basically indicate whether there's any enemies nearby. Right now there's no hostile units nearby. Yellow means there is something somewhere in the vicinity. And red means it is basically right next to us.
We can take it.
For some reason I thought maybe a switch might be on the table there. Nothing here. I mean, realistically, in a building like this, there seems to be just one floor of an entire office building. Where would the exit be? Probably kind of like at the end of a corridor like this, or maybe in the middle there would be elevators, kind of like at the end of this hallway here. That's my best guess. There does not seem to be anything hostile right now. I guess we technically did come through the entrance, so that probably answers my question as to where the entrance would be. So we came through here. There's a center to the air that they haven't found. This center here is what you mean, I guess. Fair enough. I just figured my Minotaur would be able to see everything, which does not necessarily seem to be the case. This looks like a weird wall because there's kind of like a double wall, but maybe there's something on the other side that I just missed. My best guess is this corridor here. Oh. Well, I guess I was right in the end. I'm just going to stick to the right hand side. Oh. Oh, that's that's the same door that we came in, but the other side. That's kind of strange. How did I miss this? And hey, little gremlin, this is a dungeon, basically a bonus dungeon, where it's essentially an Easter egg left by the creators of the game, New World Computing. This is literally their office, how it looks. And you see a lot of NPCs running around with the names of the people that worked here. And apparently there's even more of an Easter egg somewhere. My Minotaur's perception is not good enough, apparently. So this is a center area, but it's kind of weird, isn't it? That there wouldn't be anything more. This is essentially just a bonus area, nothing else really. By the way, I'm spam clicking on the wall here. Does not seem to be anything here. Well, there might be something on the inside. Alrighty, I have no clue. Let's see. Maybe do you have a clue? No, this is... No, that would only lead to an area where I've been already. Must be awkward for if someone was fired midway through production. Actually, there is a bit of a sad story to this Might and Magic thing here. I do believe the entire company was basically acquired by another company. I think it was Ubisoft. And they did end up firing most of the people in the release after this one, Might and Magic 9, which is why it's basically an unfinished product that was released. So they were unfortunately not treated as well as it could have been. So, yeah. Basically, to my knowledge, Might and Magic 9 was released, and I think sometime just before the release, people were fired, so they wouldn't have to be paid. Maybe it's not this game that I'm thinking of right now. But also, I have no idea where I need to go. So, where could a hidden compartment be? Or a hidden area for that matter. Like, what does this even represent here? You own Might and Magic 9, sadly. I see. I mean, I've heard that it's so bad it's even good. It does have some decent concept in it, it's just not finished, and it could have been good if it was finished in the end. I don't know though. So either way, I have no clue as to where that might be. Maybe I want to just kill everybody in theory, but in order to find that one guy, but yeah. You bought Might and Magic 10, were disappointed? Might and Magic 10, I don't know, I think I might have bought it when it... Actually, let's put it this way, I don't know when exactly I bought it. I did play it, I thought it was intriguing and interesting, but just not as good as Legend of Grimrock. But still intriguing and interesting, but clearly not finished, like it needed at least another year of work and polish to be there. And Kaneki, holy cow. Hey Kaneki, how are you doing? Welcome back to you for 18 rounds in a row. Thank you so much. And well, I hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much Kaneki, that is really nice of you. I can return to the main story. As I said, someone mentioned that there might be something here. If we don't find it within the next 2 or 3 minutes, I'm just going to go back outside. But if someone has an idea, feel free to fill me in. I'm just trying to figure it out by logic. I figured out that there was a door here just by looking at the layout. Or the size from that. Looks like a very weird office. Oh boy. That sounds nice, Kaneki. I'm glad you're healthy again then. That sounds nice. backside of the entrance door leads somewhere different. I guess that's a possibility. Nope. The fair idea though. And all the doors are closed again. No. Let me try to look it up real quick myself, I guess. Dun 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 dun. I found a map of that area. But it doesn't seem to have anything hidden inside of it. Let me actually compare this here real quick. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything hidden here, guys. I think that's it. At least not according to this map that I found here. Also, apparently you need to use the flute. Oh, okay. Alright. So here's a thing. I need to... Apparently, the reason why you need the flute, or more specifically why I needed to interact with the Minotaur, is because of the flute. So this is from the tomb of Lord Bryn, which apparently was one of the workers there that passed away during development, if I understood this correctly. This is why. This is the entrance, essentially. Alrighty, I would say let's go. This is a really neat little thing, I guess. Doesn't need to have anything too special attached to it for me to like it. Okay, let's go. Where we wanted to go before anyways. So essentially there was a gigantic Titan here somewhere. I wonder if there's something else of the Titan that's represented somewhere. I'll do an uncovering of the map probably after we are back out of here. I do know we will get back out of here, so don't worry too much about that. As I do think I need to go ahead and deal with those guys here before we can rest. So my plan is currently kind of like in previous areas, that I do want to go ahead and be able to leave the dungeon and just rest in case that would be a quicker option than anything else. But that is the current plan. And Rohani destroys more enemies. It's just ridiculous. The speed of her just exceeds the game's idea as to how fast a character can possibly be, so it just keeps giving her a turn and another turn, and yep, she just destroyed those guys. Nice. Alrighty. Eschaton's Palace. The destroyer reigns from a macabre palace. What kind of being would choose to live inside the skull of a 400-foot tall giant? I don't know. Probably a lot of people.
What lies ahead?
What lies ahead? That's an excellent question. This dungeon appears to be quite large. There's another door here. Why? I have no clue. Hi. Maybe chemos don't seem to be too much of an issue to take out. Let's refresh haste. And also refresh heroism. I do believe they have a similar amount of time until they are wearing off. More hidden compartments. This is why I love having high levels of... What does that do? I have no clue. High level of perception. Let's just pull the switches. Maybe that opens something, maybe that closes something, I don't know. Door. He's the champion, 8 nights. Good night. The door here. So I'm actually going to do a thing that I have not done before. Didn't closed door. Because I couldn't open this until just now. Hi. Don't try to jump scare me. That's rude. Maybe I shouldn't even pick up the bodies anymore. Not even sure how useful that is. I should stick to one direction. Probably. Not sure that's the cleverest thing I can do. So that's this little section here. I should probably just try to remember where we are. I can't seem to open this door. Closed door as well. Number 2. Let's see real quick. Haste 41 minutes. Heroism lasts about twice as long. So this is an open door. This door is open now too. This just looks like a little bedroom area, if you ask me. Chest.
Leave it.
Water resistance. More gold.
Leave it.
Minotaur battle axe. And by the way, in case you're wondering, what am I doing? Why is there suddenly new stuff in those chests?
Worthless.
3 to 18 points of fire damage. I guess that's kind of cute. Essentially, some items just straight up don't have enough space to spawn. So what I'm essentially doing here is 10 to endurance, armor, and hit points. That's really good. I'm actually going to use that on someone. Probably you.
I wish I knew.
Leave it.
Fire resistance plus 20. I'm actually going to use those as well, most likely.
Worthless.
Soul Drinker. Disarm skill plus 21. We don't need it. 58. So I'm just leaving those things in here. Essentially rearranging them a little bit in the chest. Close the chest, open it again, and boom, there's another one. It's just because they didn't have enough time, place to spawn there. Let's see real quick. You have... All you have is really just those old auger gauntlets. To be fair, it is a lot of defense, but that's it, I guess.
I don't know.
So, you keep the guardian, but that's about it actually. Can technically get rid of the rest of those items. Once again, I really don't think I need any more money at this point, so those are just clogging up my inventory for no good reason. Didn't I have boots that I kind of wanted to use? Here, fire resist plus 20. Sounds way better than those. Get rid of those. Okay. He's an ogre, not a troll, and he's insane. He's insane indeed. Insanity gives you more attack power, and I just decided to not cure it. So, closed door. So, to my knowledge, this is an overarching puzzle, so to speak. I have no idea how to solve it. So I'm just kind of starting to make notes. I just know this is a gigantic puzzle in here, or something like that. So, well, pure accuracy. I think this is for honey, actually. Philosopher's Stone, if I ever need to make a catalyst.
I have no idea.
Worthless.
Eldritch Shield of Magic, Personality 25,
Worthless.
Divine Intervention, Archangel Broadsword of Ice, Regnant whatever thing. Whatever, I really don't need more. No. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything else in here. Don't forget to switch character for opening things. Throw it outside, throw it outside.
Worthless.
Okay, that chainmail wasn't in there before, fair enough. There's one more enemy over here. Hello. Good night, sir. So I figured those behemoths would be incredibly dangerous. They probably are to an extent, but not to the extent I expected them to be. The reason why I thought the behemoths would be incredibly dangerous, especially melee combat, is because in Heroes of Might and Magic 3, I believe behemoths are the single most strongest melee combat unit. The downside of them is that they are incredibly slow. For basically ultimate or highest leveled unit of an area anyways.
Worthless.
Plus 10 to all 7 statistics, I highly doubt that's worthless, my friend. Wait, she doesn't even have anything special on them, holy cow. Here. Those are technically Chaos Guardians, not Behemoths. I guess that's true. But yeah, I'm just used to Behemoths in Might and Magic, or Heroes of Might and Magic 3, which Might and Magic 7 is more akin to Might and Magic, or Heroes of Might and Magic 3, since those were around the same time, I would say. There's another switch here. Maybe I should start marking the switches as well. Switch 3. Switch 1 was here. And switch 2. Actually, I need to test something. Alrighty. That's actually good to know. I cannot move them back. That's good to know because, well, that tells me basically that I don't have to move them back. Which is nice. Hi. Those are significantly smaller than I expect them to be. Get a wand. Don't really need it, thank you very much. Isn't there an enemy in here? I guess not. Doo-doo-doo-dun. Dun-doo-doo-doo-doo-dun-dun. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-dun. Dun-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh. This door is open. Button. Let me guess, I have to press a button in all 4 corners of the area. So we press this one in the northeast corner. What do we have here? Chest. I do take those though.
Leave it.
Plate of Freedom, spell points, fire resistance, Dagger of the Skill. Spelled. Plus 10 spell points, speed and intellect.
Leave it.
Plus 10 to all 7 statistics. Are you crazy? We take that thing. Let's give this to our ogre. Start throwing things away from it. There's a chainmail. Another chainmail. Yeah. And
Worthless.
Labyrinth Grapple of Ice. That's an interesting halberd. Minotaurs have very little tolerance for intruders in their hallowed maze. This fact is well evidenced in the attention paid to weapons constructed for the labyrinth guards. Interesting. Plus 10 spell points, speed and intellect. I wonder how good that is in comparison to what I have on you guys. Arts martial skill plus 6, basically better chance to hit. Same here. Yeah, I'm okay with just having those. Can't put it back. And here? Fire resistance +2. Let's have +10 to all cylinder thingies instead. There's a door open here now. I guess that might have been closed before. What is in here? This seems to be leading to the other path where I couldn't go before. This is an open door. I wonder when some of those switches just literally only open doors that would have been visible as well if you just had enough perception. This is actually not too unlikely if you ask me.
Got it.
Got it indeed. Okay, this is the door that I couldn't open from the other side. I still cannot open it. This looks like there would be something here, but there isn't. Probably. This an openable door? Alright, there's another closed door. There, I don't seem to be able to go to. Closed door number 4. This might be the ultimate goal, essentially. Good evening to you, Silesium. Thank you for the good luck. So, what I'm gathering from this area here so far is that essentially I probably have to run around through this entire thing 4 or 5 times in order to reach what we're looking for. Did he just break something? Nope, nothing broken. Okay. Another lever. Once again, I can't put them back, so I assume they have to be in that position in the first place. This is an open door, so we can go here, press this button here now, so we have pressed the both east buttons. There's another door here that leads to a hidden compartment. Aye. It's actually interesting, the Wizard's Eye doesn't tell me where those guys are. He's a champion. Got a chainmail. Not really interested in it. Actually, also I need to look. Who wants the accuracy? 94. I think actually Rouhani still wants the accuracy potion, even though we've given you 3 now already. Another switch here. I don't think I need to mark the switch, by the way. Plus, this is not nearly as cryptic as I thought it would be, honestly. So, I'm going to delete those switch thingies. Don't think I need them. So this was a closed door, this was a closed door, and this to here might actually open up the doors here on the sides. Here. Haste for everybody, please. Oh, this is still closed. This is still closed over there as well. Is this open now here? By chance? This is open now, alright. So this is no longer closed, so we can delete this. And I imagine one of those switches I just hit open this door here as well. They did indeed. Let me guess, this one is still closed though. Yep, this is still closed. We cannot go here, but I expect the switch to be here. There is a switch indeed. So, which door did open? There's actually only 3 doors that I know are closed still, so just going to check out the other 2 that I have not seen yet. So it's either left or right from here, I think. Not, then I'm lost. Okay, this is open now. And I imagine the switch here will open something else for me. This thing over there is still closed. So I imagine this door over here will be open now. I'll check real quick. Waste 50 minutes. I don't know how long a minute this is in in-game time. This is open now indeed, so I did never actually mark that. This one is openable in the first place. Let's just go right hand side, getting more guardians here. I would like to point out that they did hit us, but we regenerate that quick enough that it barely matters. So, Another switch here. So, I've only found one, or I only know the location of one door that is still closed. But let's keep exploring here for now. Okay, I've seen you on the minimap. How much backtracking? I guess. I do dare to say, this is a bit of the sign of development being potentially rushed a bit, so we have to push 2 switches. But this door here was not visible from the other side. And this is the final door that we knew was closed, but is now open. So we pressed all 4 switches. Let me guess this is going to be the last thing I need to do. That's a big table. Is there anything on it? Nope. Let me just put something onto the table, because why not? Diamond and some food. Enjoy. Eat one but not the other. Let's put it that way. It depends on what kind of creature you are. If you are a dwarf, you can eat both, I guess. Okay, another Chaos Overlord. Gauntlets, that might actually be interesting.
Worthless.
Plus 20 intellect, yeah, a little bit interesting. Oh, Eschaton's throne room. Wait, I think I remember this one. To an extent anyways, let's see. Oh, it is indeed what I thought it was. Eschaton's throne room. I sense some small presence in his chamber. Greater than gnats, but so much less than myself. Where is it? Oh, there it is. What have we here? Some of the beings of Jadam. Ah, yes. Destroy them? Surely within my rights, but no. It has been a slow millennia. Perhaps they will provide some diversion. Speak then, lower ones. What would you have of Eschaton, destroyer of worlds? Who are you? I am Eschaton, the destroyer, also called Devil's Doom, the spider, the webgate, and ruin. There are places where I'm worshipped as a god, but to myself, I think of myself only as a servant to my greater masters. Know too that I have brought a cataclysm to your world, which must be destroyed. It is a doom you have brought on yourselves by failing to eliminate the devil Kriegans from your realms. By the way, if you know anything about previous Might and Magic games, the Kriegans, I believe, were essentially an alien race, but so are actually the humans, if I'm not mistaken. The humans are technically also an alien race. Or was that a different one? Either way, this is basically going more into sci-fi rather than high fantasy at this point. Masters. My masters are those who created me. They gave me form and function. I have thus proven indestructible. I destroy worlds infested by Kriegans. Cataclysm. Your world will be destroyed by the elemental forces that created it. The crystalline Jadam's central city compels those who live on the elemental planes to open their worlds onto yours. When their worlds meet at the crystal, their reaction will unleash irrepressibly destruction across the lands, sky and sea. All things living will live no longer. Kriegans. In the time since the Silence, your world has lost knowledge of the Kriegans' origin. That they resemble the devils of myth has been enough for you, and indeed, devils is what most call them. The truth is, they came from the beyond. Before they attacked us, my masters had no knowledge of them. The Kriegans infested our worlds and spread if they can. It would seem in an endless universe that they could expand in another direction than ours. But they have not made this choice, so we must defend ourselves from them. Save the world. Yes, your world does need saving. Oh goodness. The cataclysm, if not stopped, will destroy it utterly. A quandary for you. I, as a bringer of the cataclysm, know how it can be ended. Further, I acknowledge that since there are no longer Kriegans on your world, it need not be destroyed. Wait, there's no more Kriegans here? Why did you do that then? But as a servant to my masters, I am compelled to let the cataclysm continue by not divulging my knowledge to you. Still, I will ask you some questions. Perhaps there is something for you in the answers. Before we do that, there's something that I actually remembered. So we did actually tear some books out from the library. Or some pages out from the library. Pretty much at the beginning of the game. Journal scrap. Here. Page torn from a book. A page torn from a book you found in the Merchant House library. Answer section. Riddles, page 56. 1. 15 ducks. 2. The troll's grandmother. 3. Prison. Riddles, page 57. 1. Egg. 2. The chicken was upside down. 3. Wasp jelly on a cracker. Riddles, page 58. 1. Ogre feet. 2. Inside. 3. They made soup. So in case you're ever wondering how those riddles work. Ah, the Nutlings return. I must consider why I allow them their continued existence, but this I will do some other time. Speak then, while I still may. While you still may, puny ones. Well, thank you so much for subscribing for 4 months in a row. Welcome back. And I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Riddle 1. Where does one serve to pay is not free to leave, but is free when one leaves? So ladies and gentlemen, feel free to try and ponder this one. I do remember the answers from watching RPGD all the way back. That was like literally 10 years ago. RPGD is a YouTube creator. He is not terribly well known. He has created a series on all the Might and Magics. He is the first Let's Player on YouTube that I ended up watching that was in English. Before I only really watched German because my English was terrible. To be fair, his videos are a bit hard to watch both in quality, but also because of how the sound and voice balance ends up being. But I did thoroughly enjoy them back then. And I actually did figure out 2 of the puzzles before RPGD, and I was kind of proud of them, which is why I still know the answers. You think you know the answer? Feel free to post it in chat. If you know the answer, or if it isn't. I actually have no idea what happens when you give him the wrong answer. Prison. Alright. In prison, we do serve to pay a sentence. We are not free to leave, because it's a prison, but we are free when we leave. Unless I guess we are prison guard, but that's besides the point. Yes, your answer seems to fit the riddle nicely. Perhaps that is the correct answer. Yeah. Azkaban, I guess. Alrighty, riddle 2. What is there when you enter a room and cannot be outside, so you leave the door open? That's a bit of a weird one, but this is the one of those that I figured out beforehand. So, what is there when you enter a room and cannot be outside, so you leave the door open? Like it cannot. I think what he basically means is that it cannot leave to the outside, even if you leave the door open. Wrong, the correct answer is jail. For the previous one, yeah. It's actually one of those things that I don't like those kinds of riddles, generally speaking, because usually the guy asking the question is looking for a very specific answer, and even though other things would fit the bill as well, like if you just have something else that might fit the answer, it would just kind of not be right, because it's not exactly what you're looking for. Although they usually are super arbitrary in answers, so those kinds of riddles I'm not usually a fan of. So, last one, Shogun says key. But a key can be outside. An opinion. An opinion? I think you can have opinions outside of your room as well, actually. So that should be fine. Greetings to you, Skuzumiru. Welcome to you. Operator theory says inside. So inside cannot be outside, because that just doesn't work. When you enter a room that is there, that is inside. So inside. Inside is indeed correct. The vagaries of language are many. Still, your answer seems to apply well to the question. Riddle number 3. A moon-colored box, meant to be opened from the inside, protects the sun-colored treasure of life. What is it? And be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get something to drink real quick. Alrighty, I'm back. Let me actually catch up on chat real quick here. Let's see, what are the answers? One was on the page. An egg. Egg. Egg has to be. Eggs are moon-colored? White. I guess so, to an extent. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. A moon-colored box. I guess a box is arbitrary. When we say a box, we don't necessarily think of something that isn't necessarily square-shaped. Or more specifically, when we think of a box, we usually immediately think of something that is square-shaped. Or rectangular, let's put it that way. But it doesn't have to be, does it? I don't actually know. Does a box have to be rectangular? Meant to be open from the inside. Which, I guess an egg is definitely meant to be open from inside, but we can also easily open it from the outside if it's for food. But I guess originally it's not meant to be opened from the outside. At least not by the creator. Protects the sun-colored treasure of life. which the sun colored is yellow and moon colored is basically white. So an X there definitely does fit the description. When it comes to box shapes, think outside the box. Here, egg it is. I would judge that you've answered the riddles correctly. I suppose in asking them to you, I have in some way helped you. As far as I and my nature are concerned, this is sufficient. As a reward for your performance, take this small bauble. I have more than one, and therefore more than I require, and see? I can give it to you because I don't know you have the knowledge to use it. So you know, my impression of Eschaton right now is essentially he recognizes that our world does not have to be destroyed, but at the same... So he kind of wants to help us, but at the same time, he doesn't necessarily care to help us too much. My masters have made me a holder and not a giver of knowledge. Still, perhaps you have given yourself knowledge through my questions? I've given you all the questions I will, so you must look at what you have. Perhaps you should question the answers. A prison implies a prisoner. Who? Inside? Inside of what? An egg. What kind of egg? A bird's egg? Perhaps something like an egg. So yeah, he is not... It feels like he's not allowed to tell us as to what exactly is happening. But he kind of feels like at the same time that he wants us to succeed and figure out what is going on and maybe stop it. It seems like he really wants to help us one way or another, but at the same time doesn't have a direct way of doing so. You're guessing the keys are going to unlock the elemental prisons. Ring of keys. Both the keys and the ring are made of metal. A metal you've never encountered before. The gemstones inset in the keys' heads are familiar to you. They are elemental heartstones, like those incorporated in the conflux key Xanthar made for you. Isn't that interesting? And before we go outside, I would say we rest here. Because we won't necessarily get another opportunity for resting anytime soon. So we just buff up everybody to whatever we may have. Invisibility, that's a terrible idea right now. Because that's going to get dispelled anyways. Use this one here. Then mind resistance. I guess I could try to blind some enemies once in a while. Water resistance and protection from magic and air resistance and body resistance and earth resistance and have I used heroism already? Probably. There's so many resistances you can use. On top of that I can use stone skin. There's something I haven't done yet. Probably. Whatever. Alrighty, let's leave. Fly somewhere. So, we may have seen those eggs that appear to be prisons. Even the description at the bottom kind of gave it away, but even if it didn't, this is kind of the only thing I think we can do in these areas here. However, let us explore the rest of the map, which I assume is just basically not a whole lot else. I wish it was a bit brighter in here, that would be nice actually. So, how are we in a plane between planes. How does that even work logistically? Basically, plane between planes is probably referring to the idea of elemental planes. And this is probably quote-unquote in the middle of all the elemental planes. And with the key, and the prison of the Fire Lord, we can enter indeed. Though the air temperature is quite warm, this pot of ice does not melt. The elemental power of the water magic swirls about it, keeping it winter cold.
I love the taste of blood.
Button. I don't know what button does. Oh. We don't seem to be able to leave here. Interesting. I wonder whether I need to jump onto this in order to leave from here. So we have some visitors over there. Ether Knights. There's a giant sword, shield and helmet so far. Yes. Probably an armor somewhere? Maybe. I don't know, that might have decayed already. Because it's implied that it's not just a helmet, it's a skull. At least according to the description of when you enter Eschaton's palace.
Oh, yes!
So we do know Titans are a thing in this universe. So it does make sense. So, I know this is a switch on the floor. Or multiple ones for that matter. I don't know whether they are going to hurt us. I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything here. Ah, that is what happens. Okay, Rohani, we need a little bit of haste. So those switches are essentially what you technically, or the things on the floor you technically want to avoid, but at the same time, I don't know whether I want to avoid those or whether I actually want to step on them in order to open up doorways and gateways. Like, I have no idea whether something is a trap or whether something is supposed to be a switch that I need to find. So, given that, there's not a whole lot I can do about those kind of things. I just step on them anyways, just to see what happens. There appears to be more of those enemies around the corner here. Also, I'm going to initiate regeneration. On everybody, I think. Alrighty, and the layout of this place is kind of simple, small so far. Hi. We have water resistance established at this point, so we shouldn't be too worried. Also, let me check what we got so far.
Worthless.
Dragon Hunter Shield of Arms. Item of Ice, Temple of Sword. Mind Resistance, Gauntlets of Speed. Gauntlets of Speed might be interesting actually to some people. Mind Resistance. She doesn't have anything special on her gauntlets. So might as well equip those. Because he's faster. Wait, I didn't... Oh, she had the... I wanted to equip the all +7 to all statistics, but I ended up not doing that, I guess. Endurance, armor, and hit points, and you have mind resistance.
Who knows?
I'd rather have you faster, buddy. Nah, mind resistance is fine. We are fast enough. We have fast enough. Sure. What is this? Leave the prison of fire. Okay. What are those anyways? Greater water elementals? I probably should pay attention. So, Emerald Dragons going down without too much of them. Fight, I dare to say. Gemstones acquired. From gold. What is this here? Fire Lord Cell. Oh, that was quick. Pyranist. We actually have heard about him. These lords, the elemental lords, have left their planes, and I guess they were protecting all their underlings from going mad and trying to destroy what is left of the dam. Free me quickly! I've survived so far, but it is only a matter of time before I'm extinguished. Release Pyranist. Free at last! My torment is over. But one of my subjects, I know the destroyer has them compelled to do a terrible task. My presence will soothe them. I must go, I must... Farewell. Alrighty, so we freed the Elemental Lord. I actually never knew that this was connected like that. That's interesting. What do we have over here? More enemies on the back. That's something. Just random things in the wall. Floor from battle axe. Earth resistance. I'm actually going to pick that up. Because this is kind of what we're looking for in one of the next areas, so I might as well pick it up and use it. Endurance and armor. Fire resistance. Same deal here, really. I think we have enough damage, so let's just get more resistances for now. Where are you going? It's the Sapphire Dragon, so kind of the middle one in terms of power. Rings?
Worthless.
18 speed, pretty good actually. Going to give you a bit more speed, I guess.
Leave it.
The item skill, no one needs that.
Worthless.
I'm going to see you, Tom Jars. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Regeneration has a gruesome artwork. It does, actually. I do agree. Alright. This is that.
Worthless.
Devil Bone Bow. Nothing too interesting. And just hidden compartments left and right. Not actually much gold here in comparison to what we've seen before. Elven Warball. And Leather of Earth Resistance. Give this to our troll. And I guess we are going to enter the Earth dungeon next, in that case, because we have just Earth resistance thingies. And that's all there is in here, it seems like. Oh, I kind of missed refreshing haste, I guess. Okie dokie, so... Oh, miscellaneous, I did not know. Destroyer's riddles. Prison plus inside plus question mark. Destroyer's riddles. Prison plus inside plus egg. Red liquid grants might. I did not know that was in miscellaneous. That is interesting. So, restore everything or everybody. So we know the elemental prison of air is in the mountains, which we expect to be earth elemental. So we're going there next, I guess. Also, this is the entrance to the entire area. Oops. I meant to press the quick spell. Alright, let's go in here. The magic power of the earth twirls around this cocoon-like encasement of earth and rock. A cry of torment like a dying wind issues from within.
I love the taste of blood.
I love the taste of blood. Alrighty. Let us go. Sentries and guardians. I believe guardians are the big ones. Walkers are the smallest ones. Plate armor and ring.
Worthless.
Endurance, armor and hit points. Accuracy plus 14. You know what? I'm gonna use this one for now. Hello. So we have champions, we have earth elementals. So basically some of the elementals were tasked to...
I don't know.
Oh, those are super weak. Some of those elementals were also tasked to keep watch over these areas. Or maybe they built the entire prison in the first place. Since apparently Eschaton is the one that compelled them to obey. So essentially they were brainwashed from what I can tell. Also, this is not nearly as dangerous as I expected it to be.
Yes, we've done it.
Really not too worried about those. Rouhani may want to be a little bit careful, but at the same time we probably kill those guys before they are much of a threat. Let's cast Preservation, so in case she gets knocked unconscious, We don't have to worry about stuff too much.
It is down.
It is down indeed. Just a lesser elemental even on top of that. Those are probably the weakest enemies we can find here. More
Worthless.
plate armor. Yeah, worthless indeed. Get on a little bit. Air Lord Cell. Who is there? Am I finally to be released? Release Shellwind. Thank you for releasing me. I go now to restore order to my realm and to do what I can for yours. Know that Shellwind, Lord of Air, holds you in his favor. Farewell. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah. This is actually a piece of the story I never knew about, that the elemental lords were missing from their homes, and they would be the ones being able to take care of the insanity that is taking place from the elemental planes. Yeah, I feel like we are a little bit over leveled, or maybe it's just the dragon in our party that is
We did it!
putting up a much better fight than what you normally would have here. I don't know. Maybe this is intended. We get another leather armor.
Leave it.
We leave it indeed. At this point, I just need inventory space. Oops. Plate armor. Another plate armor.
Leave it.
Body resistance.
Leave it.
Lloyd's Beacon. Sounds pretty awesome if you ask me. Unfortunately, it is a Grandmaster level spell. So then we have another one of those.
Worthless.
Sunhammer of Venom. Okie dokie. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. That is always good to hear. So I guess in this case we are just looking for a way back outside. There does not seem to be anything else in here that is of relevance. What is a little bit of relevance is that we probably put on the fire resistance now instead, because that might be the most damaging of the bunch. Regardless of what the next one is over here, we're just going to go south. And in the meantime also discovering what is in the darkness. Maybe we find something interesting along the way, probably not. The nightmare enemies here are probably the most unique ones, it feels like. Fear, nightmare and such. Terror, nightmare and fear. Which one are the strongest ones, Elspeth? Terror of 700, Nightmare of 1880 hit points. Fair enough. So this must be the elemental prison of Earth. The maelstrom energies of air magic hold together an egg of cloud mist. You can hear a faint but clearly angry howling coming from the strange structure. Strange structure indeed. Air elemental. Is there any more? Platform. And all the air elementals appear to be below us. Maybe above. We need to jump. Jump. Oh. I think I can just walk. Oh wow. If I accidentally misjump, I get teleported back down. But I can also just walk onto those things. Like I get basically snapped on top of them. They have a lot of leeway programmed for this, but it does look a little bit nicer if I just jump instead myself. Haste again, please. I could just use the jump spell instead. That would be an option too. Wait, where are those elementals anyways? I have no idea. Hi. I guess this is where we need to go. Without quite as much failure. Actually want to jump before I start moving. Or maybe at the same time is fine too. That way I don't run the risk of not jumping at all. This little platform elevates us up further. I even forgot to use air resistance here before we entered, but I really don't think it matters all that much. The Earth Lord cell is here already. There was not even Crystal Guardians here. I guess they couldn't find space for them.
Ah, mortals. Good. You're not of my tormentors. Release me from this place. I will not harm you.
Gralkor the Cruel. Sure.
I am free! Now, will he who was fool enough to jail me, this destroyer, feel my wrath? That I, the Lord of Earth, am called Gralkor the Cruel is no mistake. The suffering I've felt will be his, return in multitudes.
He's not a friendly guy. Couldn't we just leave him in prison? Whoa. Ah, I want to see what the enemies are down there. Apparently there's enemies down there.
This could be tough.
Yeah. There's enemies indeed. So there were enemies here. They just don't know how to attack us here. Haha. Let us go. There's nothing else for us here. That was super easy, surprisingly so. Stone skin. Ooh, the skull in the top right actually looks more fancy with stone skin level master. I was not aware of that. Let us... Earth resist, FI resistance, because I think that is the one thing that might be the most worthwhile out of all of them. Back to haste, and we don't have to come back anymore, Minotaur. We are basically done here. Let's see whether there's anything interesting here. Those little thingies here might basically indicate the origins of the skeleton of the giant, or titan, I guess. Or maybe it's just a rust, like remains of armor or something like that, I don't know. Don't seem to be... I don't know what to make out of them. I was just curious whether there would be anything else here. It doesn't look like it. Maybe connecting the dots of those places might form something. Also, the entire map does not necessarily tell me much about the being of this entire plane between planes. Like, there's just the helmet, or well, skull, I guess, the sword and the shield. Actually, if it didn't specifically say that the Palace of Eschaton was a skull, I would have just assumed that the Titan was tired of fighting and just put away his gear and then left or something like that, since there's no other indication of it. But that might have been thousands of years ago, and he might have been completely decayed as well. There's a weird square here. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, let us actually just take care of those guys. I would like to take a better look at this weird square, honestly. Okay. This might just be the wrong tile? Question mark? I don't know. Oh well. Our inventory fills up with more junk. Alrighty, Prison of the Waterlord. Forces of fire, magic heat. This cylinder of iron to red hot heat. Oh, forces of fire. Fire magic, heat the cylinder of iron to red hot heat. There we go. The hiss of steam makes you wonder if the thing is full of boiling water. Wow, that's a terrible thing. Wow. Wow. Hang on. The lava on the ground hurts you, which makes sense. But that's a mean entry here to this area, to say the least. A really mean one. Alrighty, I do want to cure insanity of my Minotaur. And he is weak on top of it. Interesting. No, not this one. Cure insanity, please. Okay, after insanity, peak cactus apparently get weak, so it's not that they have both status effects, they just get weak after insanity, it looks like. Interesting. So good thing I ended up establishing fire resistance, I guess. Next. Alrighty, thanks to having a vampire, this is not a problem. What would you do if you don't have a vampire? Water walk? Would water walk work? Or would you just kind of get hurt all the time? More equipment, more chainmails.
Worthless.
Personality plus 16, increases effects of water spells.
Worthless.
Might plus 16, pure personality.
Leave it.
Endurance and armor, there's nothing else in here, it doesn't look like. Alright. Pure personality for Elspeth. Hi. The fire elementals are probably the most aggressive ones, so this is probably the most dangerous egg, so to speak. Don't answer those chainmails. Oh my god. That took me a while. Wow, don't answer those chainmails. Alright, fair enough. Okay, here. Rohan is probably, alongside Ithilgor, the best character to deal with those insanity enemies. Fire elemental dead.
Worthless.
Devil Bone Bow asset.
Worthless.
ID Monster Skill plus. Ars Master Skill plus 11. Plus 35 resistance hit points regenerate over time.
It won't fit.
I would like to have that. An Arms Master Skill is probably just more or less strictly better than what we have. So many armors. 35
Sorry.
res. Yeah. Actually, this is the... We can leave this one here. Anything else in here? There is indeed some more stuff in there.
Leave it.
Hit points and regenerate over time.
Leave it.
I just don't expect there to be anything interesting that is better than Glommon Mail for chainmail purposes. That thing is just crazy. Or Glommon. Oh, hi. Are we here already? Waterlord Cell.
Help, really, I've been able to do this far, but for much longer than I.
To be fair, he seems to be in the worst shape, considering that his water is boiling. Which is super rude, if you ask me. There's quite a few things you can do beyond just fly. I mean, I don't think you can fly inside. Reese Aqualander.
To destroy it is a fatal moniker for one who would imprison me in such a fashion. If it were not for you, I, Aqualander, Lord of the Water, would have been soon perished. But passing would have had an unbalancing effect across all the planes. Thank you.
I go now to gather with the other lords. Together we will set things right. Be warned, our actions will destabilize the crystal gravity. Leave now for your home, lest you be trapped here forever. Inform Slaughter of what has happened here. Farewell. So we are supposed to leave. So here I need to get haste again real quick. And here I want to use Dark Firebolts. And the lady has become insane as well. Might as well use that insanity to deal more damage. The only one that is not insane is Elspeth. She probably is just kind of like, whatever, that's normal to me. More of those kinds of things. Thunderbolts, Artificer's Belt of Earth. Accuracy plus 19. Sounds pretty fancy.
Worthless.
More items like this. Dragon Helm of Thought.
Leave it.
Spell points plus 19. Alright, no big thing either.
Haven't
Hi.
seen one.
Oh yeah, we deal a lot of damage to those guys thanks to being insane. To be fair, he must be kind of insane to get here in the first place. Okay, that looks fancy again.
Leave it.
Tailbone of the Sky. Tailbone Bow. Pretty good. Luck plus 23. Plus 10 to all 7
I
statistics.
don't have the space.
Actually, you could probably use better shoes. Yep. Those are just better for you, good sir. And there's nothing else in here. Let us get out. Rohani's insane face. Yep. Rohani's insane face is actually a bit insane. But there's that too. I wonder if we rest. Is insanity gone? No, insanity is still there. So cure insanity on you. Cure insanity on you. Because we lose all our spell points on insanity. And I think at this point, let us revert our troll back to his normal state too. Like, having him being insane is nice for utility, but it's not so nice as in terms of just keeping him pleasant, I guess. And I think that is the plane between planes. The water guy did tell us to leave as soon as we can. I'm curious what the destroyer has to tell us, however, after we've done this. Maybe he has something new to tell us, maybe not. Afterwards we'll probably just leave via town portal, since we can. Reminds you of the overly attached girlfriend meme. With Rohani's insanity face. A little bit, I guess. Also, there's some enemies around here still left. I don't know where. Wrong way. Dun, 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 dun. Left side would have been quicker, I guess. I don't know where the enemy might be actually at all. Oh, and it's gone. Looks like Eschaton is not our enemy after all. Haha. Hey Eschaton, you've done a thing. You probably should get out of here. Okay, he still says the same. So... on your world, they speak of a silence which has lasted for 1,000 years and more. I am all beyond that, and my masters are ancient to me. Interesting, I don't think I've heard that one before. My masters are afraid the Kriegans would learn ways to corrupt me, have made me incorruptible. I am unable to undo the convocation of a cataclysm once it has been performed. This command of theirs is part of my very being. I am powerless but to obey. So this actually underlines the idea of mine that he really doesn't necessarily want to do that. Kriegans. If it were not for the Kriegans and the state of war they impose, my masters would rebuild the web of worlds and lift what you call the silence. My masters have attempted to rebuild the web many times, but the Kriegans always destroy it. Now they have concluded that the Kriegans must be entirely eliminated, or the golden civilization will never rise again. It is to fulfill this purpose that I have been created. So essentially, that web of silence, if I'm not mistaken, kind of refers to the fact that... I'm just going to walk outside, by the way. Might as well. Essentially, that web of silence refers to the fact that, as mentioned before, at least in different Might and Magic games, I'm not entirely sure about this one for the backstory. Essentially, the humans are not native to the world of where they are at. In fact, they are very much, well, aliens themselves, as are the Kriegans, as that are called the devils or demons. So what that essentially means to us is, like, we kind of feel like we've been here forever. Oh. Ooh. Can I go into the helmet here? I can. That's kind of fancy. Come on. It's a bit weird, I guess. So either way, the Kriegans are the ones that destroyed that web. And essentially what is to be interpreted by that, and I believe in other Might and Magics is more or less outright told, I would say, is that how to put it? Humans used to be an incredibly advanced civilization. It is more apparent in other Might and Magic games where you literally have that ancient technology of a literal blaster gun in the end game, and that also makes it kind of interesting. I still think this is watermelon. Looks a lot like watermelon. I want to eat it. Nom 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 nom. But the thing is, that Web of Silence, as I understand it, is basically the concept of the Kriegans cutting off the humans that live on this planet here from all the other civilizations, and thus they basically get knocked back into the Stone Age and had to redevelop their civilization. Which is why those ancient artifacts exist. And there's that. Leaf Eschaton's crystal.
Tell them I have failed.
So he was a robot or an android? Either way, a sentient one that didn't want to destroy the world after all, after he realized that the Kriegans are no longer here. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, one of the things as to why I think kind of underlines a little bit as to the development of this game was probably a bit rushed is that there's no final boss. The final boss is essentially answering the riddles. Congratulations, Moth to level 69, Minotaur Lord. Excellent work. By thwarting the Destroyer of Worlds, you have pulled your world from the brink of unending oblivion. Not only may life continue, but a new peace reigns over the dam. The mighty alliance you forged will see the land's restoration and eventual prosperity. Total time, 3 years, 0 months and 7 days. You scored 30-33. I have actually no clue what the score means. That sounds interesting. Congratulations, adventurer. We hope that you've enjoyed playing Might and Magic 8 as much as we did making it. We have saved this screen as mm8_win.pcx in your mm8 directory. You can print it out as a proof of your accomplishment. The Might and Magic 8 development team. Press escape. Is that them signing as press escape, or should I press escape? I pressed escape, and that's that. You can continue playing this game afterwards, from what I can tell. But essentially, you have accomplished everything. Technically speaking, I guess there is stuff to be left over, but we are not doing those. All the Might and Magic series has a neat sci-fi setting. Yeah, actually, this is an interesting aspect of... Let's put it this way. Let me talk a little bit about this. I know a lot of you people probably already know, but most people probably were introduced to this series through Heroes of Might and Magic. Probably 2 or maybe 3 even. I guess there's also later ones in the series, but my big entry to this universe, so to speak, was through Might and Magic, or Heroes of Might and Magic 3. And essentially, for me, I didn't realize that there was a sci-fi ending or setting to this. However, in the original, well, main series, Might and Magic, there's always been this kind of twist in the end game. Like in your first Might and Magic game that you've ever played, that twist might have been, whoa, a gigantic, amazing slap in the face, so to speak. But if you are a veteran of the series, you realize that there's always been those kinds of sci-fi settings to them. However, Heroes of Might and Magic players probably did not necessarily know about that. And there's the story of people just kind of getting super upset that when they wanted to release an expansion for Heroes of Might and Magic 3, that when they learned that there is supposed to be an advanced civilization with guns and tanks and whatever to be in one of the factions that you can play in Heroes of Might and Magic 3, they got so incredibly upset over it and just kind of scolded them for drifting away from high fantasy into sci-fi instead, not realizing that this is actually part of the roots. So there's that too. And yes, exactly, that's shown. That's pretty much what I've been alluding to. There are screenshots about it around, and the project to recover the race. Interesting. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Heroes of Might and Magic 3. This is the first time I've beaten it. I knew the ending because I've watched a full Let's Play of it. I knew the end game because I've seen speedruns of it. But just kind of finally finishing this myself was quite a bit of something. There's a lot of weird little Easter eggs and things that are just kind of around these areas. Apparently there is a chest that is basically out of bounds, like I cannot go further than these boundaries here. But apparently there's a chest that is out of bounds like this, and you would be able to open it by using telekinesis. I actually don't know where that chest is. I do remember seeing something like that at some point though. So I'll be curious about that. Other than that, I think we've completed that. Also, there's somewhere a tree. Ah, there's the tree. In this area here. What does that tree do? Well, let me put it this way. Do we have... Here. We have a stone to flesh potion here. I click on the tree and I get an empty bottle. And the stone to flesh potion is gone. Basically, this tree drinks your potions and gives you the empty bottle backs. Why? I don't know. That's just what it does. And yes, feel free to link related links. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Heroes of Might and Magic 8. I'm slightly compelled to maybe do a challenge playthrough of this sometime, just kind of a solo character challenge. And I have no idea how well or not so well that would work out. Would be potentially interesting, but potentially just kind of be boring as well. The reason why it might be interesting is because, well, you're supposed to have a full party of members to play through this game, but at the same time why it could be boring is because in the end all you need is a bunch of invisibility and fly scrolls in order to complete the main quest. So, not sure. Not sure. Maybe I'll do something with this sometime, maybe I'll just kind of leave it at that. Evolve the challenge of endurance. Wow. Alrighty, thank you for watching, for listening and for lurking, and maybe until next time. Take care.